This is the brief on the 2026 World Cup Final tactical and mental matchup. Spain and Argentina clash in Sunday's World Cup Final, setting the stage for an ultimate showdown between Europe's calculated tactical machine and South America's resilient late-game magic. First, we gotta talk about Spain's tiki-taka system. They literally rely on total tactical control, hoarding 64% possession. And if they lose it, boom, they hit you with a rapid 6-second counterpress to win it back instantly. Anchored by midfielder Rodri, they've only given up a single goal this entire tournament. It's kind of like wrestling a boa constrictor. They slowly and methodically squeeze the life out of you so you can't breathe or counter. So how do you survive that? Well, second, we look at Argentina's comeback mentality. Their mindset is rooted in pure resilience and chaos. Instead of dominating early, they absolutely thrive under pressure. Get this, they've scored a staggering 12 of their 19 tournament goals after the 75th minute. So if Spain dominates the first hour, does it even matter? Not really, because Argentina are the undisputed kings of the late game surge. Finally, that late surge isn't just luck, it's a brilliant strategy engineered by their captain, the Walking Messi Tactic. Believe it or not, Lionel Messi spends 64% of the match just walking. It's not fatigue, it's a calculated mental and physical ploy. By hanging about 15 yards away from the play, he acts as a total decoy. He's basically a chess grandmaster playing a deliberate waiting game, letting Spain tire themselves out before striking the fatal blow against exhausted defenders in those crucial final minutes. Ultimately, Sunday's final isn't just a battle for the trophy. It's a thrilling collision between flawless systemic control and unstoppable individual willpower.
Usually, we think of a World Cup final as this crazy 90-minute sprint.
Right, just like constant motion, guys just running themselves into the ground.
Exactly. But digging into the tactical previews and the data for Sunday's matchup between Spain and Argentina, the defining image isn't really a sprint at all.
No, it's actually a calculated walk.
A walk, yeah. So today, for you listening, we're synthesizing a massive stack of tactical previews, data science blogs, and sports analytics to basically cut through the noise. Our mission is to give you the ultimate pre-match briefing.
Yeah, because we are looking at two entirely different philosophies here. I mean, take Spain's absolute dominance. They've only conceded one single goal all tournament.
Which is just wild at this level.
It really is. And they're averaging 64% possession. Their defensive work rate is just relentless.
Well, looking at their data, their recovery time is insane. It's 10.1 seconds on average. How do you even get the ball back that fast against world-class teams?
So it all comes down to this strict 6-second counterpress rule. Like, the exact second Spain loses possession, 4 guys immediately swarm the ball carrier.
Just totally suffocating them.
Exactly. They physically cut off all the short passing lanes, and if they don't win it back within those 6 seconds, they just drop right into a rigid defensive block.
Okay, so it's almost like a tactical boa constrictor.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Right, that 6-second press is the constriction. Every time you try to take a breath and clear the ball, they just instantly squeeze the space.
And they actually use that same spatial control on offense, too. They purposefully overload the center of the pitch to drag defenders inside.
To pin the center back.
Yes, firmly pinning them down. And that creates these wide-open blindside runs on the edges, which completely isolates Lamine Yamal one-on-one with a fullback.
Which is pretty much a nightmare for any defense.
Totally.
But then, meanwhile, you look at Argentina's path to the final, and it's been pure chaos.
Absolute chaos, yeah.
Right. Just late comebacks, total set-piece mastery. I mean, they've scored 7 goals from set pieces this tournament.
Yeah, 7. It's staggering.
So if Spain is the boa constrictor, Argentina is like this hidden viper, right? Just waiting in the grass for the exact moment to strike.
Which brings up, honestly, the biggest puzzle across all the tactical blogs we reviewed.
How does the Viper strike when the boa constrictor just refuses to let go of the ball?
Exactly. And the answer is actually in what Lionel Messi is doing off the ball.
Okay, wait. I have to ask about his metrics here because they are fascinating. He just broke Miroslav Klose's all-time World Cup scoring record. And his expected goals, his XG has actually doubled since 2022.
Yeah, he's somehow getting more dangerous.
Right. But then there's this one stat that stands out. He walks 64% of the time.
Yeah.
Like, how does a guy who's literally walking dominate a high-pressing team like Spain?
Because he's exploiting a very specific spatial blind spot. He intentionally hovers exactly 15 yards away from the nearest defender.
Exactly 15 yards.
Yeah, exactly 15. The data shows that at that specific distance, a defender's reaction time simply isn't fast enough to step up and close him down before he receives a pass and turns upfield.
Oh, wow. So he is literally weaponizing stillness.
That is exactly what it is.
He's just letting the rest of the Argentine squad absorb all that massive Spanish pressure while he stays completely out of the pressing zone to conserve energy for that late game magic.
Right. But for Argentina to actually survive absorbing all that pressure, they have to target the absolute engine of Spain's system, which is Rodri.
Oh, yeah, Rodri.
Yeah, he leads the whole tournament in passes and high-intensity runs. The tactical previews heavily emphasize that when you aggressively mark Rodri and cut off his passing angles, Spain's whole impenetrable shape just fractures.
Because they just can't recycle the ball quickly enough without him.
Precisely.
Which actually leads to a massive irony in the data we pulled. You'd think Spain, being the ultimate possession team, would lead in passing, right?
You would assume so, yeah.
But Argentina actually completed more passes this tournament. It's 4,324 for Argentina to Spain's 4,156.
The midfield battle to control that tempo is just going to be brutal on Sunday. But there is a totally unprecedented external factor that might completely ruin Argentina's rhythm.
Oh, right, the whole halftime show thing.
Yeah, FIFA is running a 25-minute halftime spectacle. They've got Madonna, BTS, and Shakira all trying to raise $100 million for charity.
Which is for an amazing cause, obviously.
Definitely. But that's 10 extra minutes in the locker room. Muscles cool down entirely. For an older team like Argentina that relies on these late-game surges, that physical freeze could be absolutely disastrous.
Okay, wait, actually I have to push back on that a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wouldn't a 25-minute halftime completely ice Spain's high-tempo pressing momentum instead? I mean, a long, slow break seems to perfectly serve Argentina's slower pacing and Messi's whole energy conservation strategy. Right? If anything, it neutralizes Spain's physical intensity.
Okay, yeah, that is a really fair counter, because if the boa constrictor's muscles cool down, they might not be able to apply that intense 6-second press with the exact same ferocity in the second half.
Exactly. And the stakes for you to watch on Sunday just couldn't be higher. Spain wants their second title, while Argentina is chasing the first back-to-back championship since 1962.
And they're aiming to break a dead-even 6-6 historical head-to-head record.
The tactics, the stats, the history, it really all collides here.
It's going to be an unbelievable match.
Truly. So knowing that soccer is fundamentally this game of rhythm and endurance, how will the physical and psychological disruption of a 25-minute halftime concert fundamentally alter the traditional fatigue of a World Cup final? Will the boa constrictor freeze up, letting the viper strike? Something for you to mull over before kickoff on Sunday.